Here with Liam Hogan before what would be the biggest game in Salford's history. How do you feel going into that game?
Excited. Slightly obviously disappointed in the fact that we didn't quite push right to the very end to get the title, but it shows you we've come a long way. It's our first year in this league, new group, new management team, and the lads have really put in every effort to be in the situation that we are. I think the goal was to obviously reach the playoffs, especially with the system of the seven teams that can go up. So there was a lot of sort of opportunity for us to get in there, and then after that was the next step really to finish second and third, which gets you the bye, which obviously is the match that we've got now Sunday. We find out our opponents obviously tonight, so we obviously keeping an eye on the score. And then obviously the bonus was if we could push all the way to win the league, but we fell just short. Obviously fair play to Leyton Orient, congratulations, they stayed the course. It's a lot of games, 46 games, and obviously they came out on top over that. Now we know it's down to one match. One match can go each way, but obviously I'm a glass half full kind of guy, and I think obviously with the ability and the squad that we've got, I'm looking at it being a positive opportunity to progress, and depending which team it's going to be, they've both got different tests that we will face. We've met them both twice already this season, in different results we've received against them, but on the day I think if we play to what we know we can, it's in our hands really. So we'd like to reward everybody at the club, and obviously people who've been involved in the club previously that have got us to this point, reward them with a trip to Wembley on the Saturday after. But focus has been fully on preparation this week for this one match, whether it be 90 minutes, 120 minutes or penalty kicks. Obviously we'll be mentally ready to hopefully progress through that.
And it's been kind of the season for yourself personally didn't start off that well. You didn't play many games to start with, but now Salford have kind of adopted this three at the back formation, and you've really been on form recently. How has this season been for you? How would you describe it yourself?
I think it's been a massive success. Like I said, with the new group, the new league, new opponents that we've learnt to obviously come up against. We started slow, just into the league, and we got a fantastic result. I think it was Halifax at home, and the lads went on a 20-game unbeaten run. I wasn't part of the team that was starting. I actually played all the appearances, barring a couple came on. We switched to the back three to see a few of the games out where there was a bit of pressure against us, and obviously any time that you're not in the team it's disappointing. But for me, myself, my attitude is that obviously whether the lads are doing well or not doing well, I still want to be in that side, and I still want to ask the question to the gaffer, to still pick me. And as obviously captain here as well, it's important that not only just verbally going around the lads and making sure the motivation's there and things are done right. If I obviously carry myself in the correct manner and go about training, and when I'm selected for matches or I'm brought on as a substitute, make sure I give my all, give to the best of my ability, others will look to follow that. So it's obviously standards that I like to set for myself, and it was unfortunate for the actual group that I needed to come back in because we went on a bit of a run that wasn't, obviously we weren't picking up enough points. We changed the system, and since the turn of the year we've been obviously, like you say, in a fantastic run again. One obviously the run that's just fell short, but has pushed us within obviously the touching distance of actually winning the title outright, and obviously to be a part of it, to start on the pitch and to be able to contribute for the full game, obviously is really satisfying for me. But at the end of the day, whoever plays, so long as the result is the positive one at the end of the day, and whether I'd have played 5 games, 30 games this year, the team, if they can progress through this league into the next one, we've achieved the goal set out to be. And every single person, we've had quite a large group of squad members has paid a massive contribution in some sort of way this season to how well we've done. So it's why it leaves the squad literally pushing every single week for a place in the 11, because you don't actually know who it's going to be. There's no shoe-ins to say that he's going to play this week, he's definitely going to play this week. So you've got to be at it throughout, from Monday to Friday before the weekend's game, that you have to be at the best of your ability in training. And competing against each other is only going to push the level of the group up. So, and when you go into the game on Saturday, you've literally replicated the high intensity, determination that you've had in training to show the gaffer you want to be in that 11. You then take it out onto the pitch on the Saturday, and that's obviously why we've had a lot of success this year. I think it's something like 25 wins in our first season. So the goals have been going in, and we've had quite a decent return on the clean sheet. So both aspects of the game, it's really pleasing. Obviously, unfortunate not to win the league. It was a big asking to turn the goals around on Saturday, just gone. We tried our best and obviously fell short, but now we sort of had the reality of looking that the playoffs were going to be the route if we're going to go through it. To now settle and sort of relax the group and push again this week, so that we're sort of on the edge, ready to go, and we're really anticipating and looking forward to the whistle being blown Sunday and giving our all, and obviously trying to get this fantastic club that's moving forward very quickly to stay in that same direction.
And you're obviously a local lad, came back to the club in 2017. Has the, come back to Salford or playing for Salford, has it been what you pictured it to be?
I was interviewed, and when I signed, and one of the questions was, what would you like to achieve? Obviously the first achievement was to be promoted out the National League North. Obviously we've ticked that box. We actually won the league with a fantastic tally at 91 points. And the momentum from that, the new lads that have come in, mixed with the old sort of lads that we played with last year, there's a lot that are still featuring in 11 that were actually part of the team that was there last year, which just shows the level of sort of commitment of the quality that we've brought in this year for the lads from last year to still want to compete and be in that side. So obviously for me, looking back, knowing that obviously I set out to get out of the First League, to put us in a great position and an opportunity, like I said, to see what we was going to do this first season in National League, and to be in the position we are. I'm really delighted. I couldn't obviously say any more about the lads. They've been fantastic, and the management team that we've had has literally worked off every single detail that we possibly can to prepare us in the right way to go into those games. And it'll be the same again on Sunday. It'll be treated exactly the same as we have done in the last 46 plus matches if you include the cup competitions, and just make sure that on the day we as an individual deliver, because we're all a small part of a bigger piece of the puzzle. So if we do our bit and everyone pulls together, then we know things will take care of themselves.
How much would a trip to Wembley and a potential promotion mean for the club?
For the club, massive, because I don't think they've been there. Obviously, if you look back, there's been a lot of change. I remember watching, I'm sure it was something that I think it was at the Willows, the old Salford rugby ground. Salford City played against FC United, and the crowd was fantastic that day, and it was sort of the new beginning of FC United, and a few of my friends from local played for Salford City, and I just remember being in the crowd, just like obviously thinking, how good it would be to play in front of sort of numbers like that. There was a great crowd on, and we've seen it over the last sort of couple of seasons now, the numbers coming through the doors, the support of the games. There'll be a fantastic crowd on Sunday, and as a player, to see the stands full, obviously the fans singing and supporting you all the way through, it's a fantastic feeling for a player. Depending on whatever level you're at, just to be involved in an atmosphere and a game of such sort of importance is where you want to be as a player. And yeah, obviously having the sort of local lad link of knowing, working around, I worked in the schools as a PE teacher, knowing sort of some of the faces that I see in the stands that are actually cheering you on. Yeah, it's great to represent the club, and obviously at the minute we're doing it in a great way. Both on the field and off the field, there's been a lot of development on the women's side, and obviously the academy is progressing fantastically as well. So as a whole community group, like I say, it's really promising, and as a player it's a fantastic opportunity to be a part of. So we just want to keep it, like I said, moving in the right direction really, and Sundays, yeah, it's the biggest part of the history, the recent history of sort of this new Salford. But bearing in mind, a lot of the staff members that work here and work around the ground were here from pretty much day one from the old club, when the old stand got pulled down, to the volunteers that work here. So that's fantastic that they've stayed on board and they've seen the progression through. So for them to be down at Wembley, it's a fantastic facility. I don't like talking about it before there's another game, so I'm going to say very little. But yeah, obviously the reward of being at Wembley is fantastic, but obviously calling on previous experiences, winning at Wembley is an even better feeling. I've done it previously with the gaffer that's here now with Fleetwood Town, but like I say, we can't look forward past the kick-off on Sunday at 3:30, and the opposition, obviously tonight, whoever it might be, will have the same equal opportunity and obviously fancy themselves in the same manner that we do. So whatever it's going to be, it's going to lead up to a great game, and we just hope that we've got enough to come through it.
And the experience you said you had with Graham at Fleetwood, how much do you think that will help come Sunday and potentially at Wembley?
Yeah, because I think there's a good mix with the group. There's lads that have been, there's a couple of lads that have been at Fleetwood as well. Under the success that Fleetwood had, they came through the non-league a bit similar to the same model that Salford have sort of adopted to progress through, and it's more sort of relaxed, because at first, if you're not used to sort of going to a big stadium or playing in a big match, it can sort of catch you out because you sort of play the atmosphere. But obviously the experienced lads know it's just a game, it's just a normal game, whether it be Wrexham, whether it be Eastleigh this Sunday. It's just a normal fixture. You know, it's 2 teams of 11 players with equal opportunity to progress. So, you know, on the day you've just got to be better than the opposition. And the mix of the experience and also the lads that haven't actually featured or obviously been in and around these types of competitions in the playoffs and finals and that, they sort of bring a refreshment in that they obviously want to be a contribution to the progression of this club at the minute. So their sort of excitement and the energy that they bring, mixed with obviously the sort of relaxed, cool, sort of been there before, done it kind of style of some of the lads, is a great mix to have. And like I said, we won't look at it as a semi-final. We'll just look at it obviously as a regular game and an opportunity to progress to the next sort of stage, which would be obviously the final at Wembley, and then we'll deal with that then.
Are you going up?
I'd like to say we're going up, yeah. I'm confident.